Well, good afternoon, everybody. You got Travels with Dottie again. Rob, it's October 2nd, 2024, and today's adventure is we're heading from where we are, Pahrump, Nevada, and we're going to go over the hump to Las Vegas. It sounds better going the other way. They have a saying and even t-shirts that say, over the hump to Pahrump. And what they mean by that is um, there's a mountain pass between here and Las Vegas. And my destination in Las Vegas, it's fairly well into Las Vegas from here, is 53 miles. And I'm going to be meeting with a good friend of mine. His name is Shane, and he's in town. And I haven't seen Shane since I retired out of Fairfax County. And that was coming up on in December 1st, and it'll be 3 years since I've seen Shane. And he was a coworker, but a very special coworker because he and I were partners on a special unit called the Community Response Team. He is a firefighter paramedic with Fairfax County Fire Department, and he was on special assignment with the Community Services Board where I worked, and he and I responded as a team to referrals given to us by the 911 system, by police and fire, for frequent users of the 911 system. People that had, I'd say a good guess, about half of them had medical problems that they needed help with, and there was no alternative other than calling 911 for the help, either for a thing, what they call a lift assist, where someone has fallen in their home and they can't get up and no one in the home can get them up. The fire department would come out and they would help them back into bed or in their chair or back on their feet or whatever when there's no injury and no requirement to go to the hospital. Other medical issues would require an ambulance transport to the hospital. And then there were people with mental health issues that other people were calling frequently about them, or they were calling 911 frequently themselves. And that was my end of the carry. There was I was the mental health professional, and Shane was the medical professional. Um, One of the things that made our partnership unique is that I spent some time as a paramedic and a firefighter. So um, I shared a little bit of that expertise with Shane. Wasn't current, it was in the past. But we spoke the same language, had a lot of the same ideas about things, and we worked really, really well together. I can't wait for you to meet him. He has a great hobby. He's a hockey player, and he's here in town playing hockey. And he just arrived this afternoon. He's staying at an Airbnb, and I'm on my way to pick him up. And we're going to go out to dinner at a place kind of in the desert in an area called Blue Diamond. And so the plan is to show you a little bit of the drive. This part's a little boring, but I'm going to turn off the camera in a few minutes. I'm going to turn it back on when we're in the mountain pass going over the top. It's pretty interesting. So I'll show you that. Then I'm going to shut it off when it gets boring again on the other side of the hump or the pass. And I'll turn it back on again when Shane is in the car and we're on our way. I think it's about a 17-mile trip to the restaurant I want to take him to from his Airbnb. And I'm going to turn the camera around, and Shane and I are going to talk, catch up on old times. And you're going to be with me. And I hope you're looking forward to meeting him. I am absolutely looking forward to introducing you to him. He's a really cool guy. So I'll be back in a minute. Well, as promised, here we are at the peak of the pass here, passing the world famous Mountain Springs Saloon on the left there. And I think the fire department up here is up on the left. I think that marks the high elevation mark. And I think just over the rise here, we'll start descending into Clark County and Las Vegas. 5,490 feet is the peak here. We just passed it. And now we're going to start our descent. I tell you, it's a lot more fun driving the truck over the hump here without a trailer. It's a lot more pleasant. Safer, and you have pretty good gas mileage. You can see how it's pretty interesting scenery. There's a sign here on the left. I'll read it to you. It is Spring Mountain National Recreation Area, U.S. Forest Service. And it gets a little bit more dramatic down here, as you're about to see. It's pretty cool, isn't it? There's lots of interesting things to see within an hour or two in any direction from Pahrump. From Las Vegas to going another direction is Area 51 is pretty close to Pahrump. Not that that's a place that you can try. You can, if you're near an entrance, you can drive up to the entrance, and there's really nothing to see but a bunch of signs and a bunch of desert. You can't drive anywhere where you can see anything remotely interesting about Area 51, but it's interesting to know it's there. There are ghost towns. There's Mount Charleston is a big mountain that looms over Pahrump, and there's a road to drive all the way up there. I've done it. It's pretty interesting. I wouldn't suggest you do it during the winter. This might be actually a good time to do it is the summer when it's really hot down here, maybe 110, 115 in Pahrump in Las Vegas. If you go to the top of Mount Charleston, you'll probably find 70-degree weather. It's enough of an elevation change. So I'm kind of letting this run because I can see off in the distance Las Vegas, the Strip. You probably can't on the screen here because it's kind of hazy, but I'll do my best in editing to try to sharpen. But if you look to the straight ahead to the left, you can see the Strip there. That's how close we are. We're 22 miles now from our destination, and it's a 70-mile-per-hour speed limit. So for most of the way, so it's we left Pahrump right at 4 o'clock. It's 4:33, and we're already looking at within about 30 minutes we're seeing Las Vegas, and I think around this corner there might be another view of the Strip, but again, it's hazy in the distance. There might be a camera that would capture it beautifully, but it's not the camera I'm using. So all I can really see now, because there are mountains in the way, I can see the Strat off in the distance, towering above everything else, and little chunks of a few of the other casinos, but mostly the Strat. And maybe if you're on a big screen TV, I'm delivering this to you in 4K, so you might be able to see it. Let me know. Let me know in the comments if you were able to see. To the left here is a big sign that says Late Night Trailhead. Now, I don't know why it's called Late Night Trailhead. So if you're a local, you can put it in the comments what the story is with Late Night Trailhead. But this, the stretch from Pahrump to where the elevation change starts is pretty boring. but once we hit that, we're pretty much it was just a few minutes before I turned on the recording. It's pretty darned interesting. And I know you can't see either side, but like to the left is some pretty rugged looking mountains. And again, as I'm coming around this corner, I can see the Strat towering over the mountains in the distance. The Strat is, if you don't know, is a landmark casino that's been around for many years. That essentially is a big tower. To me, it looks like a giant airport control tower, only it's much higher and much bigger than an airport control tower. But to me, that's what it looks like. And right now, if I look at the peak of the hills straight ahead, I can see it peeking out over the top of the hill. And again, if you're got a high definition big screen TV, you might be able to spot it as well. But that's pretty much most of the interest here. I'm going to shut it off, and the next time I see you, you're going to be meeting Shane. So guys, here he is, the myth, the legend, Shane. He's here. We're in Las Vegas. How am I doing on the right? Am I clear, right?
Good, good.
And we are headed to, I think it's called Diamond Bar, but it's a place to eat out in the desert. It's 20 miles away. So Shane, you're here for hockey.
Yeah.
You realize it's 102 degrees, right?
Yeah.
You're here to play hockey. Okay,
Yeah.
I just wanted to get that out there.
Hope we have good chillers in the ice rink.
So, so you're not a professional hockey player. No. Everybody knows who you are because I talked about you on the way over here.
Okay.
But they don't know much about the hockey. So tell them about the hockey.
Yeah, no, just been playing since I was about 11, 12 years old, just for fun. I played in youth leagues growing up. Then when I started, became a firefighter, the department I'm on has a team. So we travel around once or twice a year to different tournaments around the country and playing public safety tournaments.
All right, so this is a Fairfax County Fire hockey team.
Correct.
Yeah, he didn't like that move very much, did he? Was not a fan of my turn. He was not a fan of my turn.
Yeah, so Fairfax County Fire, and been coming to Las Vegas for the last, I think, our third year coming out here.
Excellent. And I told you, I think in the past, I played hockey in prep school.
Yes. For
like the #1 prep school team. And you remember my only shortcoming as a hockey player? Do you remember?
Skating?
Yeah, I couldn't skate. Yeah, I couldn't skate.
That's usually hold a person back.
That was a real problem. You know, when it dawned on me, you know, I was sort of pressured by my roommate to join the hockey team, and he said, "They'll teach you how to skate." They never taught me anything.
No,
they didn't teach me how to skate. No, they just,
you don't know.
I just, you know, skate around in practice and, you know, pick a spot on the bench for the games.
No, that was me. That's me most of the time. Well, now it's a little slim pickings for the skaters, so I get to skate a little bit more now.
So I was telling everybody in more than one video, I've talked about CRT.
Yes.
And Shane had his going away party yesterday, and it's kind of funny. It's people I used to work with, and one of them called me a couple of weeks ago and said, "By any chance, were you and Shane close?" And I go, "Yeah, yeah. What's up?" And they said, "Well, you know, he's leaving the team. He's going back to the fire department. Would you be available for like a FaceTime call?" And I go, "Well, yeah." And I'm like, I didn't mention, well, I just talked to him yesterday. And I think by that time you were already coming here, and I knew I was going to see you. So we wanted them to be excited. So we kept our mouths shut, and he did a pretty good job of faking surprise when they put me on FaceTime yesterday. But when I retired back in December of 2021, they had it in the same break room that he was in. They had a party for me. And I felt honored and shocked that they made such a big deal. I mean, they had a whole table of food and signs up there, and a bunch of people showed up because they didn't really do that much for other people at all when they left.
Maybe and then muffins or something like that.
Yeah, and then a couple of people, not a big deal. But for Shane, they did the same thing that they did for me.
Yeah.
And I got so excited I missed a turn. So that's
all
okay.
right. You can always turn around, right?
Yeah, we can always turn around. That's advice that I give to you can, it says there's an alternate route down here. We can go down Tropicana Avenue, so we don't have to turn around. So advice I give nomads like me: you're pulling your trailer, you're going through strange cities, especially cities when you're on the highway. If you think, oh, I'm going to miss the turn, don't yank the wheel and take the turn. Just go by it. Just let it go. Turn around. And I said, I can remember, I think in Albuquerque, I missed a turn and I had to go 10 miles to turn around. But I didn't destroy my rig in my home.
No accidents, no injuries.
At the end of the street.
Didn't I think Shane and I used to drive together, right? We used to drive our response vehicle for CRT, and I think I would say that then. We'll just turn around. We're not first responders. We're not responding with lights and sirens.
Exactly. And we missed a few turns.
Just like we just did. Yeah. But it's funny. I'm saying we didn't use lights and sirens, but for some reason, the vehicle we had lights and sirens.
Well, you may remember the very first time I was doing a ride along with you and Adam, who was my predecessor on the team.
Yeah.
And we came across those two girls that were missing. Remember that?
Yeah, we definitely needed the lights. Yeah, we needed the lights.
And Rob went off-roading. He went in his dress shoes. He's going through a muddy area, following these girls through the wooded, muddy area.
Well, let's explain it more, because Rob following girls into a muddy area on the surface does not sound good. So the situation was, there was if you, from the Dragnet days, like an all points bulletin for these two young girls. Did they think they were suicidal or something? Something like that.
Sounds right.
Yeah. And so, we would often assist the police in looking. And we were looking for these two girls. We had a description. And we were giving up. There were cops everywhere. No one could find them. And we were driving back to the office. And I think Shane was driving. I was in
the back.
You were in the back. Adam was driving. I was thinking, and I looked by the side of the road and I said, I think that's them. And he pulls over, and I get out and I walk up to the two girls, and I say, I knew their names. And I thought what was going to happen was they'd do whatever I said and we'd have the police come by and bring them home. But instead, they booked, they took off, they went straight into the woods.
Yeah.
And I went after them. And I got to tell you, they were going towards
a highway.
A highway, right? Which I wish I could say I knew that at the time. All I knew is I went in the woods and I lost them immediately. I couldn't find them anywhere. And I had a radio, and I'm like sort of wandering around aimlessly. Then I heard you on the radio.
Yep.
You found them.
They popped out right on the edge of that highway, right in the
right.
There, yeah.
So that's a good example of the kind of adventures we had doing that job. That was, of all the jobs I've had, that was CRT. Working with you was at the top of the list.
That was for me too. I almost an nauseam sometimes, I think, but when I'm trying to explain something, I invariably think of a story of something that Rob and I got into.
Yeah.
Rob and I, ... or hey, Rob told me this or taught me that. And everybody knows your name, even if they never met you.
What was really a lot of fun was when they put me on FaceTime and they're scanning the room. I thought it would, by this time, it would be all new people.
Yeah.
I guess there were a few people, but I recognized almost everyone.
There was a lot of the same people. It was very nice of them to have that going away get together. That really touched me. I kind of had a heads up it's coming, but I didn't really expect it to be that big, so that many people.
Yeah, I didn't think it'd be that big either. I didn't think you were that important.
Well, I'm not, but it's very nice of them anyway. They're very kind.
All right, we're going to slip through this yellow light and hope there's not a Las Vegas Metro policeman watching me as I'm doing that. In Las Vegas here, years ago, they combined the sheriff's office
Oh, did they?
and the Las Vegas police into what they now call Las Vegas Metropolitan
Yeah.
Police.
Yeah.
Because actually, the city of Las Vegas, most of the strip is not even in the city.
Really?
It's Clark County. And even out here, this is not the city of Las Vegas, but the addresses are Las Vegas
Wow.
and the zip codes, but it's not the city.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Interesting little tidbit. So, what we're going to do here is I'm going to cut this off so, we can swear and stuff. And I'm going to cut it back on in the restaurant just to show you the restaurant, where it is in the desert location. And I'll just give you a snippet of that. Then I'll close it out on when I'm driving back home to Pahrump tonight. So see you in a few. So Shane's pretty surprised to see these guys here. I'll step out so you can see these guys better. He was pretty confused. It's like, what are these guys doing here? And I said, well, they live in the desert and they're coming in and they're eating the grass. And they're kind of all over the place here. A lot of them in Pahrump. See? Shane got to see some wildlife.
Sure did.
You want to be a star?
She's a star already.
Yeah, right?
She's like, wait, gotta go say hello. There's someone else.
So we were lucky to get a table here. There's like these two, this guy and us, and that's it. But I guaranteed to Shane that this is a good food in this place.
Yeah, I'm counting on it.
I got so excited I forgot to show what we got. What kind of pizza is that that you got?
It's a cheese pizza with sausage and mushrooms.
And the one I ordered was the margarita pizza. And what would you give this on a 10 scale, 0 to 10 for pizza?
Well, it's a solid 8. Maybe might reach 9. It's good.
Excellent. Well, hey, as promised, I'm closing out the video. You can see it's night. I just dropped Shane off at his the place he's staying in Las Vegas, which turns out is just right down the street from the strip. We had the great dinner, and I was thrilled to be able to take you guys along with me, and I appreciate you, especially those of you that are staying to the bitter end here. Thank you. I will see you in tomorrow's videos. Take care. Wanted you to see what it looks like at night coming into Pahrump. That's Pahrump off in the distance. I had to turn the headlights off so you could see it. It was a little scary, but you get the point. And when I get into town, I'll show you what Pahrump looks like up close, lit up at night. Well, here you go. Here is Pahrump at night. Saddle West Casino on the left there. You see the Gold Town Casino off in the distance here. Gonna be on the right.
In 1/2 mile, turn right on South Frontage Road, then take the first right. Turn right on South Frontage Road, then take the first right.
And you see the Pahrump Nugget. And we're going to be sliding right between these two casinos to go home.
Turn right at the traffic light.
And that would be right here. And that string of lights. all that noise is me digging, trying to get my key fob so I'll be able to get in the gate. Sorry about that. But the string of lights on the right here is the entrance to home, Preferred RV Resort.
Arriving at home on the right.
And here we are. Nice little hour and change drive from Las Vegas. And here is home sweet home. And here. So sorry I signed off and then did a bunch of extra stuff, but that's kind of what I do. If you watch a lot of my videos, it's not uncommon for me to do that. So I will sign off for sure because I'm going to bed. It's almost 9 o'clock. I'm going to let Dottie out and go to bed. And I will see you tomorrow. Thank you so much. And if you really stayed to the end here, you're the best. Thank you. I appreciate you.